Hey guys, this is Pastor Jonathan and this is 5-Minute Friday. On 5-Minute Fridays, we take a question from my Instagram question and answer session every Wednesday. That's at Pastor John Vazquez. And we try to answer it a little more in depth or however much you can say in 5 minutes. I try to keep to that as best I can. If you want your questions submitted to 5-Minute Friday, all you have to do is just enter it on Wednesday in the question and answer session, and maybe your question will wind up on 5-Minute Friday too. Today's question is, what is your best childhood memory? I have many to choose from, but there's one. And you'll see why it's significant at the end of all this. For context, I grew up in California in a small city called Fontana. At the time, it was very small. Woo woo, Fontana, my Inland Empire peeps. I grew up at this church called Arca de Refugio, who at the time was pastored by Reverend Neftali and Reverend Olga Guzman. She wasn't a reverend at the time, but she is now, and they are phenomenal. If you're in the Texas area, you should definitely look them up. They are amazing pastors. And I grew up at this church, and most of my childhood memories are from there. I was there from the age of 3 till just about the age of 11, 10, 11-ish, around there. And I had an amazing time at this church. But one particular memory sticks out to me. We were having a kids revival, 2-day event, and there was this really well-known kid preacher coming to preach. I'll never forget his name. His name is Stanley Serrano. I don't even know if he's still preaching now, but if he is, he was good then. I hope he's still good now. This guy was coming to preach. He was a young kid. He was young, and I said that already. Sorry. And the leadership in charge of the revival, they decided to do something different. They wanted to have a kid pastor for the weekend. This kid was going to have to do everything that a pastor would do at the revival. He would say hi to people. He would be up on the altar. He would present the preacher, present the visitors, the whole enchilada. Tell me why they chose me. I'm not even gonna lie, I was so excited. I was bursting for joy inside because I wanted to be the kid preacher. I wanted to be the guy on the altar. So getting the chance to be the kid pastor, which for me was like bigger than being the kid preacher. I was gonna present the kid preacher, which was so phenomenal for me. And to get the chance to sit on the altar, I was so excited. I remember telling my mom how excited I was, and then I got nervous because now I was sitting on the altar next to Mr. P, Pastor Neftali, how I used to call him, and I had to look the part. So I had my suit, my tie. My hair was usually all messed up, but whatever. I had my hair messed up, however it was. And it was time to go up there, and my mom had written down what I had to say, and my knees were shaking, and I was scared, and our altar was really high at that point, and the pulpit was big, so I could barely see over the pulpit, and this was like this crazy experience. So the first night, I'm shaking, and I'm freaking out. I'm like so scared, but I read the paper, everything goes well. At the end of the night, my pastora, she comes up to me, my pastor, she comes up to me and she says, "You did great. That's awesome. Tomorrow you're gonna do even better." That motivated me so much because I was so excited that I had done well. So the next day, being kind of prideful me that I am, if you know me, I'm just a tad bit prideful. Don't trip. God's still working on me. I still got a lot of stuff to work out in my life. So being me, I told my mom, I don't need the paper today. I got this. And I'm sure I didn't say I got this because I wasn't that cool when I was a kid. I'm not sure it's that cool now. I went up to the pulpit and I presented the preacher. I did everything without the paper. And it was great. That was the day I fell in love with pastorship. that was the day that I was marked. My heart had been marked for pastorship. I will never forget the feeling that I had holding on to that pulpit. Just knowing that at that point, all the responsibility of the church fell on me, or so I felt. It's amazing what moments like that can do to you. This moment marked my life forever. Today, I've been a pastor for 8 years now. And that moment started me on this journey 20-something years ago. So I'm so grateful to God for that memory. It's a phenomenal memory. One that someday will be in my book. And hopefully I can tell my children about. When Ellie gets older, I'll talk to her about it. And maybe someday she'll be the kid pastor at church. And I'll mark her life that way. So that's all the time I have for today. I'm kind of, I think, right in that 5-minute realm. If this video was a blessing to your life, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share it with someone. Please hit us up on our social media at Facebook and Instagram, and let us know, if you like this content. We're trying to put out content that will be a blessing for your life. So that's all the time I have for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I'll see you next time on 5 Minute Friday.